podcast with Kim, my coach. Did you listen to that?
I have not listened to it yet.
It's really good. Anybody that's interested in coaching or my experience with coaching and how I got to where I am today, we talk about all of that. But she talks about, she asked me in there, she goes, what's your greatest piece of advice as a coach? And for me, it was honesty, like 100% honesty about what's going on in your life. Because that is like, awareness is the first step to change, right? If you're not aware of something, of what things are actually at, you can actually move forward. And I came across it again this week. So, I went golfing a couple times last week. And, last year when I was, near the end of last year when I was golfing, I was shooting like in the 80s, low 80s.
Yeah.
That was my score.
Is that a good golf score?
I'm pretty happy with it. Par is 72. So it was like 10 over par.
Okay.
And so the lower the better, if you're not familiar with golf.
The kind of games Kyle plays, the lower the better.
And then all winter long, I've been playing in the backyard, like 10, 15 minutes a day, whatever.
Breaking windows.
And
he hits the balls out in the field, then he smacks them back towards the house and wonder why he has a broken window.
That's how I broke the window.
Doesn't matter. Just anyone that would think that's a good idea. Got the IQ of a small farm animal.
So I thought going out this year, I was going to like do way better and shoot in the maybe the high 70s or right away in the 80s again, because I was hitting it really good in the backyard. But I have this app on my watch that tracks all my scores. And so I have exact data on all my rounds of golf last year and how I'm doing.
You enter it every time in your watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the end of every hole, it asks you. And so my handicap was like 18 or 19, which is 18 or 19 over par. And so I thought, I'm going to be way better this year. It'll be like 7 or 8 first couple games. But I went out last week and I shot a 90 and an 89. So almost exactly what my watch was telling me what was, or like the data lines up. And it made me realize that so often in our minds, we have this idea that we're better than we actually are because of whatever circumstances. But when you actually look at the data, what's actually true was like, no, I still suck at golf. I'm still like in the high 90s. And a couple times I shot in the 81. And so now I think I'm in the 80s, whatever, because like you just grab your best number and kind of go with that.
Run with that, yeah.
And so once you're actually at reality, it's like, it's way better. But how often do we do this in other areas? Like when we think we're actually a pretty good dad. And what's actually going on is we're not, and we have this like misalignment.
Don't you think it would depend on the personality of the person? Do you think some people would tend to live in a fictitious, like, hey, I'm way worse than I am, and other people would live on the other end of the spectrum depending on their headspace?
Well, I'll deal with pride. And so either way we have to...
Yeah, but I mean, the other side of the pride coin is the false humility.
Yeah.
Constantly looking for people to build us up by saying we're worse than we are.
That's possible. Okay. So yeah, I think that is possible.
Interesting.
So, but I think a lot of times, at least my experience is that I'll think I'm better than in an area than I actually am. But once you actually, which coaching does, is coaching allows you to see reality for what it actually is. Then you can actually do something about it and move forward. I
do experience that with people. And I think people that are pretty close to me, I always feel like I just want to stop them and say, whoa, like, you know how it goes when you're close to someone and they say something, you're like, oh, that's not, like, what are you going to have a disagreement about something in the past that neither of us actually has concrete evidence on? So I would just be like, hey, in the future, you should track down what you're spending. Or you should track what you, like, just write what you eat. Like, literally write every last thing that goes in your pie hole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, for me, it's a disturbing amount. Like, very quickly, right?
Yeah,
or like, if I would think, like, we'll go somewhere and be like, oh, I'll have a few chips there. Like, no, I'll eat a whole bag of chips. Like easily. Like, I could take my daily intake of calories and chips in less than like 20 minutes, right? So I think people, and same with spending. People are like, oh, I don't spend that much. It's like, well, the empirical data on the sheet, on the statement, show that you spend like a drunken sailor.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the numbers don't, that's the beauty with numbers. The numbers don't lie, right? And so,
but we don't, like, I mean, the chapter 1.
That's why the golf thing's awesome, because you're entering it. So there's the data, and then it spits out the handicap.
Exactly. But in the first book of Freedom Session, titled Facing the Truth.
Facing the Truth.
And that's really what it is, right? Like, when we face the truth of what actually is going on.
It's not facing other people. It's literally ourselves having to face that actual. And that is the hardest part.
But that's when you can move forward. Because when you actually do, then you actually have like a foundation to be like, okay, now I know what I need to change. But if you think you're up here and you're actually down here, well, then you got nothing to work on.
No,
right?
not in the real
Or
world.
way less to work on, whatever it is. And so that's the biggest thing I got out of coaching was Kim was just like, hey, buddy, this is what you're saying. This is what you're doing. I don't care, but just don't bullshit yourself. Be real.
How long has she been a coach for?
21 years.
What did she do before that?
She had her own marketing business of some sort, I believe. Can't remember exactly what it was now. We talked about it on the podcast. So
Okay. Do you think, yeah, interesting.
What?
Well, I was just going to say, do you think that there's like a saturation of business coaches or, even recently someone said, oh, I'm thinking of coaching. I'm like, well, I know that you do it. I mean, I guess it's not like I have a whole list of people that I know that do coaching, but there's people that do like sometimes it's simple business coaching or, you would not call yours business coaching. It would be life coaching, right?
I would call it business coaching.
You would call it business coaching.
I only want to.
I know who you're coaching, but I'm just saying it's not really about the business stuff that you're.
No, almost you're when you're dealing with the business issue, whatever it is, it always goes down to a root
issue
of something else that's generally not in the business.
Okay.
And once that gets fixed, it fixes things in
lot of
all
other
other
stuff.
areas. And so you need to also talk about all the other areas to know what's going on.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like business and your personal life are
And it
wildly
involves a
intertwined.
fair amount of homework.
No, just journaling.
Journaling.
Yeah.
Okay.
50
Which
minutes.
is healthy.
Yeah, 15 minutes a day, whatever,
Yeah.
journaling and
Being fully transparent.
you move forward.
Okay.
It's fast.
Okay.
But to your other question, is there too many coaches out there? I mean, the coaching industry is exploding because there's coaches for really specific things now, right? So you can be a coach for like a running coach. I know a guy that has a running coach. You can be a coach for, whatever, eating, all kinds of things. And so I think it's more just like, are you good at it? Kim was surprised how fast I got up and running and the amount of business I've got, but I really believe I'm really good at it. And so then you move forward quickly and can get clients. But if you are mediocre, then it's tough to get going. I know a lot of coaches that don't have work.
Sounds like real estate agents.
Yeah. 80-20.
80-20. 20% of the clients sell 80%. 20% of the agents sell 80% of the stuff. Yeah, it's tough right now. I went and...
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.